Well, good morning, YouTube. Thought I'd make a update video. The truck is here at home. It made it safe and sound, no problems whatsoever. I even drove it before I did all the wire swapping and that connector that you need to do. The only swap I did was on the bottom of the fuse box to get the TCM to power up, and since then I've just been driving it. And yesterday, it's the day after I brought it home, and I figured, yeah, we'll spend the day getting the wires swapped and whatnot. And yeah, I went to the dealership and picked up some electrical pins and stuff, so I was able to put wires in for the OBD2 port, which you could see I got my thing plugged into. I got that working and communicating. Check engine light was just for history codes when the TCM wasn't on and stuff like that. So, not much has changed under here. Topped the coolant off, she's full. We drove her to Monticello again last night to pick up old Red, and so it's not pretty, but it works. That's unfortunately kind of how I end up doing things sometimes. So you can see my two little solder heat shrink things. Those are for the OBD2 port, tapped in, the yellow and the brown there. Right? Yeah, and then those go off into the OBD2 port. And then we've got the pink wire here, which, you know, the guy on the forum said use purple. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It was more of a suggestion, because you've got this purple wire up top here, second right next to the blue on the right hand side, and I side pink because it's pink underneath the dashboard. Actually it's not, so whatever. So that is the tap shift wire. Oh, I like how my radiator hose collapsed. I just noticed that. It's done that to me a couple times in the past. As soon as you take the cap off, she just pops right back. So I don't know what the heck's wrong with the cap. But yeah, so no problems. Runs great, drives great. Oh my gosh. Driving it home on Wednesday. Oh, hearing the exhaust note on this thing, it just makes me drool. It sounds so incredibly good. I am just absolutely in love with the way it sounds now. I do have an appointment today at 3 o'clock for an alignment. I go to Granite City Tire and Auto in Sartell. They've been the only people that I've grown to trust with my vehicle. It's very hard for me to trust anybody because, you know, a lot of cheap places you take your vehicle to, especially a diesel, they're like, oh man, a diesel, that's freaking sweet. Oh, I get to test drive it while I'm fixing it because I need to test drive it anyway. Let me just hot rod it a little bit. You know, I get that mindset that people do that, and just especially since I caught Sears joyriding my truck on dash cam. Yeah, that's just garbage. So I tell them, you know, when they pull it in for an alignment, I'm like, if they need to test drive it afterwards, I'm going to be in the truck with them. That's all I ask. And they don't even test drive it. They let me drive it. They don't test drive it afterwards. They let me drive it home. And if anything needs, just bring it back. I'm still fighting some electrical gremlins. I don't know quite what's going on. One of them being the dome lights. They work. Well, they did work. Oh, geez. Here we go. So, the doors work perfectly fine. My mod up here is not working. It's back to the way the black truck was, where this is getting half voltage. And I think the resistor or the diode blew out for some weird reason. Just randomly, I think I heard a pop. And all of a sudden, everything went to hell. Because I turn on one, and it turns on all. Except for this one, you can't see during the day. You can see it at night. It barely lights up. The middle one and the end ones are half bright as well. Well, they're not even lighting up, hardly. I just don't get it. I really don't get it. I tried swapping BCM, so it's not that. But it's weird that the doors work perfectly fine, full bright, no problems. They're on when you tell them and when the door opens. But these ones, you can't get to do anything. I mean, you flip the switch, and things not off. So it just doesn't work. Oh, I'm fighting that. I'm fighting the tap shift. I read somewhere online, and that's where I was going underneath the fuse box. The one wire you pull out, I believe it's to insert the tap shift wire. Let's see if you can see it here. Where is it? If I could see it without looking through the camera first. Where is it? Oh, there it is. This wire I cut right here. That wire I took out to put in the pink wire. Why are you not focusing worth a damn? So anyway, that supposedly is, I believe, an ignition 3 voltage. At least, yeah, ignition 3 voltage. Now, from my understanding on the diagram, the LBZ side of the plug, not the LLY, the LBZ, the engine side, has 2 ignition 3 voltages. And, you know, there's one over here already, or there was 2 or 1. I don't know. Anyway, they said since you've got that one hooked up, one person said you're supposed to, not supposed to, he just did, splice both the voltage 3 wires together. I'm going to give that a shot, because what's happening is the forum said for the tap shift to tap into the pink wire under the dash. Well, the 0506 clock spring has like 5 pink wires on it. No freaking kidding. So I tapped into the pink wire on the shifter wires itself. And that turned out to not be right. I cut it because I tested it and confirmed. I talked to a mechanic on Just Answer. It's the first time I've ever done that. Probably the last time, since it cost me over $30, just over. But I got wiring diagrams, and that's what I wanted. And he also clarified a little bit of information on the pinout. So that was very helpful. Now, this pink wire is the supply voltage for the shifter. 12 volts, battery voltage, okay? And purple is the tap shift signal. So what I did is I just tossed it here. Take the probe, I took a probe, went into the purple, and took the jump box, supplied 12 volts to the pink, and probed that with this pink wire from the fuse box out there that I ran through, and bing, my tap shifter works. So where this pink wire runs in, right here, right where my fingernail is, that pink wire is not getting 12 volts. On the diagram, it says that that is supposed to get 12 volts. No, I'm sorry. It says that pin 19, B19 through 22 is not used. Well, the purple and the pink are in 20 and 21. Freaking garbage truck. Alright, so, yeah, that was interesting, and that's when I told him, like, half my shifter is tapped into 20 and 21. That says it's not used on the pinout. What's going on there? And he goes, well, according to the information I have extra here that he didn't give me until then, was purple is the signal and pink is 12 volts supply. So, and that's when I tested everything and came out right. So that's where I'm hoping that the ignition 3 voltage wire I cut, that I can splice into the other voltage 3, ignition 3, whatever, that will supply a voltage to that. For some reason, I'm also hoping it fixes my reverse lights. That's a problem. When I first got the TCM fired up after moving the wire on the bottom of the fuse box, this double wire right here, once I got the TCM fired up, my reverse lights worked. Sweet, cool, man, no problem. I get home and I'm backing up to, well, Dad's truck was here. I'm backing up to it and I'm seeing in his tailgate my reverse lights aren't on, and I'm had him verify, yeah, they're not on. I checked the backup lamp fuse already. That one turned out fine. It says 20 amp right here. And I'm just kind of at a loss for words on what the hell's going on with my lighting, with the, you know, supposed to be 12 volt, because this is the LBZ column, and the same garbage truck coming around the corner again. I hate when they do that. Makes no sense coming down the same street to turn where? It's turning left again. So he drove around the block to come back down the street. I don't get it. They do that every week. It's just dumb. Do you not get the trash can that you're supposed to get? I don't know. But anyway. So I'm hoping the ignition 3 wire helps alleviate at least the tail lights and the shifter. The dome lights I'll figure out. If anything, I might just have to tap into the door or the wire under the dash, run a new dome light wire up there, because I'm running into the same issue I had on the black truck, where this is not getting full voltage. It is half bright, believe it or not. And the home link ain't even getting enough voltage to turn on for nothing. And I used to have to turn this on, that one map light, turn the switch on, and then I would be able to use my home light. But you can see me hitting the button takes up all the voltage. Something's fucked up big time. I'm tired of it. And the fact that that won't even come on when I unplug this. I don't understand. It won't come on whatsoever. Something's royally screwed. And it must have been my diode frickin' thingy-bob that I rigged up there. Because this is out of an 03, which does not have the... those map lights do not come on with the dome lights originally on the 03. And so I wired it up so that way when the dome light is signaled to turn on, it sends power to the map lights. But there's a diode so that the power doesn't flow backwards when you turn on the dome light itself, the map light, and it doesn't backfeed, you know, to all the other dome lights. And as soon as I put that in, all hell broke loose in this truck. So I don't know what the heck is the problem. I really don't. As long as I can get the tail lights working, or the reverse lights working again, we'll be happy. All the other lights work perfect. So we're gonna do that ignition 3 voltage. I gotta measure the front end, the gap and everything before I go get an alignment. I want to make sure the torsion bars are equal, and at some point we're gonna have to do leaf springs on this thing. I mean, this truck's got over 280,000 miles, and these leaf springs are clapped. Let me tell you, it is the most uncomfortable ride. I mean, it's like when I put the 5-to-1 on the red truck. You know, such a light, you know, it's an extended cab 3/4 ton, and putting 5-to-1 leaf springs, man, was that just murder on your back. And these things are too. They're so freaking worn out. And it's like, this truck has been worked its entire life, pretty much. Ever since Dad had it, about 80,000 miles. It's had a fiberglass topper on it. It's had a bed slide in it, which I can tell you is probably well over 200 pounds. It is a monster of a bed slide, the old-fashioned one. He's had that for probably 15, 20 years now. It's a behemoth, and it just is, it's a backbreaker if you're doing it by yourself. And then he's had all his construction tools in there, the entire life of this truck. So those leaf springs are clapped. And I was watching Truckmaster's video this morning, which isn't something I normally do, I guess. I haven't found his videos to be too informative on some of the stuff I'm doing. I'm just not, I know he goes really in depth. I'm not bashing on him. I'm just saying I've just never really been a humongous fan for whatever. And you know, you don't like everybody. It's that kind of scenario. But I was watching, because he pulled up his rebuilt transmission needed to be rebuilt again or whatever, and found out he did all this body work and whatnot. And it's like, well, that brings hope for this truck. It really does. You know, the frame isn't horrible. It still has factory paint in a lot of places on the frame. I mean, you come down here, you still got factory paint on the frame. 280,000 miles of pure salt. So that's pretty damn good. And, you know, the rockers are well eaten. And let's see here. The rockers are well eaten. The backs aren't horrible. They can still be fixed, I believe. And the bed might just get replaced at some point because I was showing my uncle, and all I had to do was stick my hand up back here. Most of it's cleaned out now, but I mean, you can pull chunks out of here, you know. It's rotten up back behind the flares. So, and you've got all this stuff from the topper, rubbing paint and random little spots, and you know, the bed might either it'll get patched or it'll, but even then I think the bed rails are starting to rot on this. Just that kind of look, it doesn't look too pretty. So the bed might get replaced at some point, and the doors, because even Truckmaster replaced the doors on his truck, and his truck looks brand spanking new now, and that brings hope for this one. So I'm excited. It's a crew cab for sure. I don't know if you guys know about this at all. These trucks are known for frame beaming, they call it. It's where you hit like the back end hits a bump, and it's like when you're riding in the truck, it feels like the middle of the truck is bouncing like a rubber band. At a higher freight. You know, every time you hit a bump, it's really annoying. And last night I was just driving back from Dairy Queen, and the headlights on the road were doing this every time I hit a bump because the frame was beaming. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. It's that bad? I mean, I hate it. I hate that beaming thing. And the crew cabs, I'm sure the long bed is just miserable. But this truck, that truck, and even this one did it when I first got it. I know GM has released updated rear cab bushings. That's what this has. It helped marginally. I couldn't hardly tell though. Couldn't hardly tell. And that's where they're also recommending the Celastic shackles, which I didn't know about until recently. And that's what this has on it. I did that before I even knew that that was a potential fix. If anything, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do, because I want to get that AutoFlex rear air ride, rear leaf spring replacement suspension. It would make sense that the tow pig would have it, because, you know, load leveling, and it's supposed to ride a whole lot better. And if you guys want to check it out, AutoFlex, I think it's $37.25. That, I think that includes installation even, but that might help alleviate a lot of the frame beaming. But I don't know. Celastic shackles are freaking spendy too. I mean, they're almost $400 for a set. So, and if anything, I'd replace the leaf springs at the same time, just get it over with. But man, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. I mean, $400 for shackles and almost $500 for leaf springs. There's $1,000 already. You might as well spend the other, you know, $2,200. You know, get a small little, you know, one of those Affirm loans or whatever, make your couple $100 a month payment, and have rear air ride suspension. Yeah, it's on a rusty truck, but like Truckmaster, his truck looks brand spanking new. His had rusty rockers, and he replaced the bed, replaced the doors. It looks brand spanking new. So, and that's kind of what I'm looking forward to doing on this. One thing at a time, of course. I'm not going to go, you know, 15 grand at body panels, this, that, the other, but yeah, she runs and drives great now. Actually, I can't even hardly tell a difference in the way it runs between the old manifolds and the new manifolds. Besides the sound, it just makes me drool. I tell you what. You get me laughing real hard, get me giggling like a little schoolgirl when you get onto her and you just hear her roaring. It just sounds so freaking good. I love it. Bug guard comes today. I'm waiting for that. I totally forgot till now. And I gotta fix the bumper. You can see it's angled down for some reason. It's like it's gotten worse since I started driving it here. And the fog lights, because of the bumper, they're aiming up above the headlights. I saw it on the garage door last night. I was like, yeah, that's quite the accrement, so I can't run with the fog lights on until that's fixed. Just because I don't want to have to mess with their alignment, I guess. But I'm going to try and tap that wire in with like a little fuse tap, wire tap thingy, and see if we can't get some good results out of that. I still have to do a lot of the other wiring. Let's see here. The mirror wiring all has to be done yet. This one is for the turn signal or the parking lights, and then this one is for the reverse light slash dome light. And then I got to wire up the floor lights in here yet, just because I prefer to have those. And then at some point, I'm going to add these courtesy lights, because like the Escalades have them. I love light, let me tell you. And it's just extra bling. You open up the door and you get nice bright LEDs like that. People are like, whoa, that's cool, but they're really bright. And it's just like freaking rights they are, man, I tell you what. And at some point, we're going to repaint every piece of plastic in here, because, I mean, it is the work truck, but it is getting really beat up, and I just don't like beat up. I really don't. I really don't even like, you know, the fact they mounted a CB on here. On both sides there's screw holes. That bugs the crap out of me, as well as on here, because the black truck was like a tar truck or something at one point, you know, and it's just got holes all over. That drives me nuts, you know. They need to find I wish they would have found a better spot for the brake controllers on these trucks, because I hate drilling into plastic. I hate it, because then you're stuck with it. You're stuck with it. You're stuck with holes in your plastic. It just looks like crap. So I found a way. If you use acetone, the paint comes right off, the factory paint, and you could paint right back onto the factory black plastic and look brand spanking new, because this door panel over here was spray painted with the color match paint, not the armrest yet, but the door panel itself, and that's holding up good. And you know, if we get all the plastic to match, that'd be great. And I can even do all this stuff so that plastic matches, the door panels match. It's gonna take a lot of spray paint. We're probably taking 10, 15, 20 cans of spray paint to do all that plastic, but you know, all in time. That's what I'm thinking, all in time. And I'm still working on the red truck. I'm looking for a rear bumper, a good non-dinged, non-dented. That's what I'm finding. A lot of them have a big old boing old ding in the back. It's just, it just bugs me. This truck is the good one, the nice one, the Cadillac Denali, the Cadenali as I call it. And I want a clean, rust-free southern bumper, no dings, dents. And the front bumper, we're gonna get a new 06 chrome piece, and then that black plastic shroud off the black truck is going to get painted this color. And I also have smooth fender flares that I can get painted as well. I picked those up for 40 bucks, so pretty nice. And then I've got the grill off the black truck, obviously, and I was going to put the turn signals in. I'm still debating, because those turn signals are smoked, but I'm not sure I want to go full chrome, like the headlights are full chrome clear, and the bottom off the Sierra, the other truck, are smoked. I'm not sure I'm liking to go that route on this truck, because it's not, I can't get smoked for the headlights. It's black or smoked, and I don't have a problem with the black ones. I'm just not sure that I want black on this one for headlights and stuff. But smoked, yes, because I believe we're going to go with the smoked lenses on the mirrors when I get a set for this. And we're also going to do like smoked 2015 style cab lights for both trucks. And we're probably going to do a smoked version of these tail lights. I'll probably end up at some point maybe putting them on his truck, because his tail lights are starting to look like poo. Probably get a smoked version for this, and we're probably going to do smoked for this one as well, just because it's a nice dark color. But I can tell you what, pardon the big slam here in about 3 seconds, but not too shabby, especially when we get the bug guard on there. It's really going to look different, but not too shabby. Minus the rust, don't look. But, yeah, not too freaking bad. I was watching Dad drive it home behind me last night, coming off of corners and stuff. It just looked beautiful. I was like, freaking rights. Zero regrets, man. Zero regrets. I mean, rockers and cab corners were going on the black truck, so and I gained 2 full doors, or should I say one whole door, you know, since extended cab is half a rear door, but I gained so much more room with this. So definitely happy that I can actually fit people, even if they have to move the seat up 2 inches. It's better than 3 feet to get people into the back seat. Oh, and the door's still closed beautifully. So I'm excited. Truck's really gonna look good. Look at that paint. Look at that. So not too bad at all. And that's MagnaFlow exhaust, if anybody's wondering. MagnaFlow muffler, at least. The rest of it's probably stamped out and sold on every single brand kit there is. Well, does that? I already forgot. Sinister D, still all them. I'm sure they all use the same, you know, downpipe and pipes going back. It's just different mufflers. Other than, I can't think of the name of this one. But this company, they got a different rear tip. And I don't care for it. Where it comes more out at a 90 degree, I don't care for that. I care for that, where it comes out towards the rear bumper. This one, I don't know why it's angled, kind of tucked in by the wheel a bit more, but I like that. And that's what this truck used to have. But that exhaust got so kind of hacked and chopped and was starting already to rust, so I was like, well, we'll get something better. And I don't know, I don't like that tip, but I've probably changed that rear section anyway. But whatever, take it off the black truck or something. So that's my update. I know it's a long one, but that covered quite a bit. And watch my previous video I'm uploading after this one. That'll go over the wires that you I don't even remember what all I covered in there, but I went over the wires and stuff. So anyway, I'm gonna leave a comment what you guys think, and I hope it was informative. I hope it was. If you got any questions or anything, just ask them. Now that I've been doing this, I know this, that, and the other a little bit, so I can help you along if you're curious or you're trying to do the same thing or whatever. Because even on that forum that I found that was very informative, had just a list of every little detail. It said tap into the pink wire under the dash, and it's like, which one? There's 5 of them, and everybody was asking that on the forum, which one, which one, which one? And some guy figured out which one it was, and he posted pictures of crappy, he even called them crappy cell phone pictures, and it just literally was just a bunch of random wires in a picture. You couldn't hardly tell what was what. It was really frustrating. I was like, which wire is it? Oh, well, I tapped into all the pink wires and I finally found out which one it was. Well, that's fine, but which wire was it? And everybody's asking, and he finally gave up. And that forum is old. It started in 2010, and the last comment was 2017 until yesterday when I commented, which frickin' pink wire is it? So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed, and leave a comment and let me know what you think, or questions, comments, concerns, and criticisms, I guess. Don't care for those, but they are what they are. And hope you guys have a great day, and God bless.